This is by far the ugliest Mustang I've ever seen. Damn! What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode here at the stable. In the last video, we managed to get the Explorer differential squeezed into the Mustang, but it wasn't without its hiccups. Well, that might be a problem. So the next step for the Mustang would be to install the engine and to fabricate the motor mounts. But to do that, we need the transmission as well to figure out all the pinion angles and all the mounting points. But we aren't really in the financial position to buy that transmission just yet. So today we're going to be diverting our attention to a much neglected project. And that is our 2016 Volkswagen GTI. I'm ashamed to say I have been lacking on the maintenance, as well as the car is sitting completely filthy at the moment. I don't remember the last time I hand washed this car. I committed the automotive sin of running it through the car wash. I don't even know what this stuff is. This car is so neglected, it's growing trees on it. One of the things I get asked about a lot is, where's your gas store? Well, don't worry. It's right here. Truth is, when I bought the car, the dealership that sold it to me ran it through the car wash before handing me the keys, and all of a sudden I didn't have a gas store. Anyway, the goal of this video is to give the GTI the loving that it deserves, and by the end of the day, if we beat the sunset, we'll go out for a nice drive and get some cool shots of the car. While we do that, we have a little Q&A going on as well. Also, let me show you guys one of my favorite things of this car. I click the key fob 3 times. Yes, sir. That comes super in handy in the summer. It'd be nice if we had some quick jacks. All right, so first question reads, what is your favorite tool and vehicle, and where did you get your first inspiration from? Well, that is a very good question. I think we could all agree that my favorite tool would have to be the angle grinder, but I got an idea. There's just so much uses for it. The angle grinder solves all of your problems. I used the quarter to get that open. As far as my favorite car goes, to be honest, I feel like I have a lot of favorites. But if I had to choose a favorite daily driver, it would absolutely be a GTI or a Golf R. And I say that in regards of price point, power, comfortability. It's just a very good all-around daily driver. But my dream car, on the other hand, would definitely have to be the Jaguar F-Type with the supercharged 6-cylinder. I feel like those have the most amazing sound. It's been like 20 minutes and the oil is still draining. Also got a new drain plug off of Amazon for it. You can get away with reusing these a couple times. I would say maybe 3 times max. Handy dandy quarter. Click. And the back end of that question was, where did I get my first inspiration from? Well, I feel like I'm the type of person that gets very easily inspired. But if I had to name somebody who inspired me, when I was younger, I used to watch these 2 YouTubers. The first one being Vehicle Virgins. But one of the channels that I would really love watching because of how he would do his builds and how he had that get it done mentality was Gingium. That channel, as a kid, I would just watch it and be like, man, one day I would love to do what he's doing, because he had his own shop and a lot of tools to basically build whatever he wanted. But looking back at that now heals my inner child, because behind us is our own shop with our own tools and our own projects. But yeah, Gingium was probably my first inspiration. I cleaned this engine bay not even too long ago, but living in the desert, this is what you get. Next question reads, this is by far the ugliest Mustang I've ever seen. Thanks. The next question reads, Why first-gen Mustangs? Truth is, I didn't choose the Mustang life. The Mustang life chose me. All jokes aside, there really isn't a specific reason why I've only had first-gen Mustangs. Damn! Oh my God, I just noticed we broke the... maybe I should stick to working on Mustangs. But to answer that question, a first-gen Mustang was actually my first car, and it is what I drove throughout high school. And the ones that I buy are generally a right time, right place kind of thing. 22 foot-pounds. There we go. The next question comes from one of our Patreons, and it reads, what is your background and how did you end up here? Well, that's kind of a long story, so I'll explain it the best that I can. Well, as far as formal training, I started out with auto body and collision repair in high school. And that's around the time I built my first Mustang, Little Blue. And after graduating, I had to decide what I wanted to do with my life. And as a young kid with no money, I bought an airplane. I'm just kidding, I didn't just buy an airplane. Well, the only asset that I had was that 66 Mustang that I had built, and my goal was to become a pilot, hence the name Rookie Pilot. So I reached out to the seller and asked him if he would trade for the Mustang, and surprisingly he said yes. So there I am at 18 years old with an airplane, getting my pilot's license. 2019 rolls around and the pandemic hits. And without getting into too much details, it wasn't all due to the pandemic, but I had to sell the airplane. It was bittersweet, but with the money that I sold the airplane, I bought the fastback that we know as Little Red. Oh, also forgot to mention that while I had the airplane, it needed a lot of maintenance, and aviation maintenance isn't something you can really just do yourself. So the owner of the maintenance shop offered for me to help him with all the maintenance so it could be a lower cost. And with that, he ended up offering me a job after the airplane was done. So I got my hand in a lot of aviation mechanics. And if anybody's wondering why I'm not using 2 buckets, this thing has been ran through a car wash. You think another bucket is gonna do it any good? Anyway, back to our story. So we started building that 65 fastback, and that's when we started our YouTube channel as well. So the fastback build took us a total of 2 years to kinda complete. I say kinda because we sold it before we could really finish it, and we needed a place where we could paint it. And I heard from a friend that there was this shop that would rent out their spray booth. So I was like, perfect, I want to spray this myself, and I could rent a booth to do so. So I go and rent out the booth, and Fred helps me paint my car because I was doing a lot within the time that I had and wasn't gonna be able to finish. So a couple months go by and I actually start working for U-Wrench, doing auto body and collision repair type things. And this is where we start getting closer to the present. So working at U-Wrench is where I met Sarah, and Sarah would hire me for a couple jobs here and there, but then a couple hours turned into more than a couple hours, helping with car reviews, sometimes editing, some mechanical stuff here and there. And if anybody's complaining about how I'm washing this thing, this isn't a detailing channel. So I have a bit of a mixed background with mechanical, auto body, and some aviation. With all that, that's how we ended up here. As far as making videos goes, ever since I was young, I've always had a knack or interest of making videos. And I would go out and film cars or whatever and put some cheesy music over it. Let's dry this thing inside. So next question reads, will you do a collaboration build with Sarah and Tuned? Well, I'm not exactly sure what you mean by a collaboration build, because I have helped with the Celica to do all the body work on it, as well as some of the Beetle. As far as me and her doing a build that is both of ours, well, me and Sarah have very different budgets. Next question reads, are we taking number 3 and the Cougar to the track when they're done? To give you guys some context, this is from one of my local friends that is building a pretty rad Cougar with nitrous, I believe. So yes, we will take him to the track. If anybody is worried about this paint job, look at all these rock chips. This car has seen like 4 hailstorms, which I don't understand. We live in the desert. Next question reads, will you do a cookout video one day? Well, not to toot my own horn, but I am the family appointed grill handler, if that's even a term. I wouldn't be opposed to the idea. It would definitely be a different kind of video, more of a vlog, lifestyle kind of video. But if that's something you guys would want to see, I don't see why not. Next question reads, what is your day job? You're looking at it. I'm just kidding. Although I do hope one day YouTube will be my primary source of income. That is not the case. That is why I very much appreciate every single one of you that watches these videos, as well as all of our Patreons and people who donate to the channel and donate tools, because you guys get us one step closer to that goal every day. Thank you guys. Yeah, the GTI is looking pretty damn good. Just don't look too close. It is now a new day. Yesterday we spent some time trying to get the outside of this thing clean, and the desert decided to surprise us by raining. I don't even remember the last time it rained, but the day after I washed the car, it rains. I'm not even gonna worry about it too much today because it has been a long day already. That's why I very much appreciate Murray and Restoration DIY for buying us this coffee today, because it's very much needed. What idiot curbed the wheels this bad? Next question reads, what's the hardest part about owning your own garage? Well, I think a lot of shops can agree that the hardest part about owning a shop is staying open. And don't worry, this isn't the one we used for the outside of the car. As you can see, it says tire. But yeah, I would say the hardest part about owning the shop is staying open. So that kind of ties into what my day job is, and I realize now I probably didn't answer that. Well, apart from working part-time with Sarah and Tuned, I'm focusing most of my time and energy into making the best quality videos I can make. And we have seen significant growth in the channel in the last couple months, but it's definitely not enough to keep the bills paid. Next question reads, I was going to ask something, but I don't know what to ask. Well, my friend, I don't really know how to help you there. At this point, I'm just trying to hurry up and get this car cleaned out so we can go on a nice drive. Oh my God. This just shows how long I haven't cleaned this car. I found cheese and peppers. Cheese and peppers in the car. Why in the hell do I have a crock pot in my car? My younger self would be yelling at me right now. I would always say,
my car's never gonna be dirty. I'm always gonna keep my car clean.
A couple years later, and your car has a crock pot and cheese and peppers inside of it. Next question reads, have you ever considered on doing a resto on any other vehicle? Do the Ford Mustangs hold a special memory or moment in time that you have focused on them so far? That's a pretty good question. I have fixed and owned a couple other cars, but it seems like Mustangs is the only thing I have ever fully restored. Oh God. That scared me. If I had the budget to, I would be doing other cars and at a bigger scale, but we just have to focus on what we can do now and what we have now. And to answer the end of that question, if the Mustangs hold a special moment in time or a memory, absolutely. The longest time I have been without a Mustang in my ownership is maybe like a year. So yeah, there is countless memories and good times. My car caught on fire. From my first daily driver in high school to the second Mustang, the 65 Fastback that we rebuilt. Me and my fiance were actually talking about that a couple days ago, that the Mustangs have been a very big part of our lives without us even realizing it. And some people think, oh, he's a really die-hard Mustang or Ford guy, but I'm really not. I like all types of cars, don't really discriminate. I'm cleaning a German car at the moment. This next question reads, what can we expect from the future if number 3 is finished? Something I've learned with every project is that there's always something to improve on. And with every project we have done, we have improved on something that may have been lacking in the previous project. And that brings us to our third Mustang, our current project, number 3. And number 3, I want to build in a way that it will withstand a beating and abuse, as well as handle really, really nice. And for the next and last question, let's go find another spot. The last but very good question is, what are your plans for the future? Well, if there's one thing I've learned in my life is that even if you make the plans to the best of your ability, there's a chance that those things just might not happen. So I try not to plan too far in the future anymore. But as of right now, I just want to keep making videos for you guys to the best of my ability. But my goals for the near future is to fly more and to make more videos for you guys and to make better and better videos each time. One more question just came in. What 5 cars would be in your dream garage? I think if I had to choose, one would be the car that we spoke about earlier, which was the Jaguar F-Type. The next would be a Mark 8 Golf R. Third one would have to be a Porsche GT3 RS. Fourth would be a Caterham kit car. 100%, I would love one of those. And 5, I would go with the Shelby Cobra. So with that in mind, thank you guys for hanging out, and thank you to everybody who submitted questions. I know this was a different style video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. With that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one.